there is a such thing as individuality, and it's okay to practice that. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Miss Mookie. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in today. In this part of my channel, I like to share advice, tips and tricks, all of that to people who are trying to level up, change their ways, better their life, anything of that nature. I'm here to help. I want to help. I'm so happy to just be in this space to provide this information, because this is information that I've either experienced or learned, and I'm trying to reteach it so that I can implement it into my life as well. So in today's video, we are talking about how to stop comparing yourself. When I say this, I'm speaking to the women who compare themselves to other women in other situations, because the reason you want to stop doing this is because it's very negative behavior. You don't want to compare yourself to other people in other people's situations, because this can make you start to not like your own life and the way you do things and yourself, unfortunately. So it's very important to stop comparing yourself so that you can start to live a more positive and vibrant life. So you want to stop idolizing someone else's journey, because everybody was born into this world one by one. We all have our own path to walk on. So what someone else's path looks like is not going to be the same for you, sweetie. That person is already here. You were not made to be that person. So that right there should be reason enough to stop comparing yourself to other people, because nobody is the same. Absolutely nobody. We were all born with our own brain to ourselves. Nobody can hear your thoughts or anything like that. It's ours. We have our own perception of how things work, how things move throughout this world. And that's something that each one of us has, and you should treasure that and value that. So one thing that has helped me stop comparing myself, and I didn't realize I was comparing myself, because I always thought I was my own individual. I'm an Aquarius. I've always been the type of person to march to the beat of my own drum, but I was comparing myself in small ways. I was comparing myself in some ways that I didn't like. So once I realized what I was doing, I put a stop to it by implementing these steps. The first one is going to be stop consuming so much social media. And if you do need to be on social media, that's completely fine. I'm still on social media. I am an aspiring content creator. So it's okay to be on social media if that's your forte. But you want to stop consuming so much social media. And if you are on social media consuming it, you just can't get away with it, that's fine. But change the social media you consume. For me, I stopped listening to music. The only time I will really listen to it is if I'm going out. Like, I'll listen to it every now and then. I'm not going to give a full explanation of when and how I listen to music. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm in the car, I'm driving, listening to podcasts. I'm listening to self-help videos on YouTube or podcasts. So these are small changes that I made to help me just step into my own and be more grounded and not compare myself to anyone else. I've also unfollowed a numerous amount of people on social media. I unfollowed the Shade Room, that other one that's like the Shade Room, I forgot what it was called. I unfollowed them. All those gossipy social media accounts just weren't serving me. They were providing information that did not pertain to me. And so I decided that I did not want to consume it, because it's like consuming, in my eyes, it's like consuming negative things on the news 24/7. It's bad for you. Your brain is going into overdrive because you're consuming all of this unnecessary information. When you are finding that you are comparing yourself to people on social media, say their lives, how they look, their body, their makeup, their hair, you're comparing yourself to that, I want you to turn off that app. Get off of it. Take a break. I'm not saying delete your account or anything like that. Just take a break, because that's so bad for you. For me, that's really bad. Like, it's basically telling your subconscious that you don't like yourself. In my eyes, I'm not a professional. I don't know what it's really telling, your subconscious. But for me, that's the way I see it. You're telling yourself you don't like yourself because you are sitting here idolizing somebody for what you don't have, and that's not good. And then on top of that, you want to stop trying to duplicate. And I'm not talking about like going on Pinterest and duplicating an outfit, like or, you know, being inspired by something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about duplicating, where you, let's say you have a friend and your friend has a side part sew-in and it looks really good on her. And you're like, oh, that looks good on her. I wonder if it'll look good on me. And you duplicate her hairstyle. Not saying that she's the, you know, copyrighted the side part sew-in. I'm not saying that she created it or anything like that. But when you see somebody doing something else and you're doing it just because it's good, it looks good for them or on them, that's duplicating it in a bad way. You don't want to do that because you're not being true to yourself. You're being true to that other person. Duplicating puts us on that path of comparing ourselves. So at least stop duplicating until you can learn how to stop comparing yourself to others. Now, if you're somebody that's constantly comparing yourself to others and you're not sure how to stop and you want to stop comparing yourself to others, just take a step back. After you notice somebody, like, hey, you're on Instagram and you saw this person that has like a body that you want, take a step back, turn off the app and just sit with yourself in silence and determine how you feel after comparing yourself. What does your body feel like? What does your head feel like? What are the thoughts that are going through your head right now? What feelings come up after you compare yourself? Do you feel less than or not good enough? These are things that we need to pay attention to. Another thing to keep in mind, femininity, soft life, that girl era, girl map, it doesn't look the same on anybody. So if you want to get into your soft life era, your that girl era, whatever the case may be, don't just copy what somebody else is doing or portraying on social media, because we all put our Sunday's best on when we're going on social media. We are trying to impress people. We are not putting the bad, the ugly, anything of that nature on social media. We are only putting the good. So you don't want to just copy what somebody else is doing, because it's not all glitter. It doesn't look the same on everybody. So soft life for you can look different for somebody else. It can look different. Like, everybody's idea of these things can look different depending on the person. Just like we say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, the type of lifestyle is in your hands, and it doesn't have to look just one way. There is a such thing as individuality, and it's okay to practice that. Even in today's world where we're all under the influence of influencers, it's okay to be an individual. And when you're focused on others, there's not a lot of room to be focused on yourself. So take this example, for instance. We're driving in a car, and I'm driving in a car, and there's this other car in this other lane driving in a car, and I'm like paying attention to that car and what they're doing. I just got into an accident, paying attention to what somebody else did. Pay attention to what's in front of you. You're staying in your lane, because you can't focus on both. So that energy that you're putting into focusing on others, use that energy. Take that energy back and focus on yourself. Focus on what you want to better about yourself without comparing it to somebody else. Like I said, I used to do this, so I wasn't necessarily aware of everything that I was doing. So it just takes that time to just become self-aware, notice the things that you are doing, and the things that you are, saying to yourself in your head. I wish I looked like that, or, just comparing yourself. And I think that's a normal part in the society that we live in. But it's also very important to take a step back, realize when we're doing it, and to stop it when we do realize it. So it's important to just try to work on yourself. And this is why I established this channel, and this part of my channel, because I want to help people. It took me a while to get where I'm at, so I just want to spread that knowledge to any and everyone that's willing to listen. So if this video doesn't work for you, that's okay. There might be another video out there that works for you, or you figure it out on your own. Just never stop trying to better yourself. That's my advice. Never stop trying to better yourself. Don't stay complacent. Don't stay stagnant. Don't stay stuck where you're at. always try to better yourself. So find out what works for you and find out who you are. Once you find out who you are, you're going to stop comparing yourself. Like, trust me, you are going to stop, because you're going to be so secure in who you are. You're not going to care what other people are doing. Like, yeah, especially like your friends or something, you'll want to support. You'll see somebody on Instagram like, oh, she looks good, but that's not going to affect you and how you see yourself. So figure out who you are. I think that should be step number one. And then once you find out who you are, you figure it out, you find your purpose maybe along the way, start nurturing yourself and don't stop. And nurturing yourself does come with, you know, trying to better yourself. So just nurture yourself. Just don't stop. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Sorry for my nails, but bye.
It's not that I don't want